Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dvestments with another video. I'm going to start off with my disclaimer as I usually do. The information provided here is for educational purposes only. It's information to help you make your trading decisions. Again, this is just for educational purposes only. So let's get started. Last time I was here, we talked about support and resistance, and that's what I want us to go back to talking about. Is let's see what support and resistance looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start out with, support and resistance can be found on all types of time frames. So let's start out with looking at long-term support and resistance. And again, I'm in stock charts, and this is the charting system that I use. And this is the charting system that I told you cost about $300 if you want to get it on your own. And again, if you become a Dvestments student, stock charts is given to you for a nominal fee. I extend my membership to you at a nominal fee, and you can share it with me for as long as you remain a stock charts student. Dvestment student. Alright, so let's get started. I am going to change the parameters on the stock on my chart here so that we can take a look at different time frames and take a look at support and resistance. So what I just did is I changed the chart to a 1 year daily chart. So if you look on the left of the chart here, you can see it starts in September, and this is September of 2018, and it goes all the way to September of 2019, which is current. So if we're looking at support and resistance, remember I said before that support is the highest point and price of a stock, and resistance is the highest, and support is the lowest. So when you start talking about support and resistance and you're looking at specific time frames, if we take a look at this 1 year chart, I can see that my resistance is right around 195.55, which was hit in the month of July, around the middle of July or so. Okay. If I'm looking at the lowest price point, I can see the lowest price point in the last year is $142.88. So that's looking at support and resistance over a 1 year period. So as you can see, when you start looking at, there's different prices that have been established throughout this year. And if you look at the stock made its longest run between like the end of December of 2018 going all the way up till like the beginning of May of 2019, where price went from 142.88 up to 190.90, and then it fell back down, and that lowest point was 168.90, and then it went back up to that 195.55. So all of these price points here would be considered support and resistance. So from 178 to 186, down to 166, up to 177, down to 159, up to 174, down to 156, up to 172. All of these are support and resistance, okay, for a particular time frame. But if you want to take a time frame as a whole, the support was 142.88 and resistance is 195.55. So let's take this down to a shorter time frame. So let's go 6 months. Okay, so if we do 6 months, we can see in a 6-month period, our support area is around 168.66, and again, our resistance area is still 195.55. Okay. Let's take it down a little bit further. Let's go 3 months. So if we go in the past 3 months, let's see what support and resistance has been. So support and resistance in the last 3 months have been, it's down here by like 176. And again, our resistance area is 195.55. So let's go down to a 1 month time frame. That 1 month time frame, support is 179.20, and again our resistance is 192.32. So when you break down and go to the 1 month, you see our 195 is no longer our resistance area. Now it's 192. So we lost the 195. So now we're down to 192. So our support and resistance area is 179.20 to 192.32. So it changed. So let's go a little bit. So let's go say let's do the last 15 days. So if we go to last 15 days, our support and resistance is, if you look at it, our support area is about 181.56, and again our resistance area is that 192.32. So now let's take it down to about 5 days. So 5 days last week. And we're going to change the time frame from the period to looking at daily. And we'll change this down to, let's go an hourly chart. Because once you get down to 5 days, you need to decrease the time so that you can get a good look at what it looks like, support and resistance, what it looks like. Okay, so this is an hourly chart for the past week. So we can see our resistance area is still 192.32, and our support area is about 185.03, so about 185 even. So 185 is support and 192.32 is our resistance area. Okay, we talked about channeling, where you have and this is an example of a stock channeling or a neutral. It's not bearish. It's not bullish. It's pretty much neutral. And what we're saying when it says it's neutral and it's channeling, see how the stock is going. It went from 192.32 down to 191. It went back up to 192, came back down to 191. Went back up to 192, came back down to 191, went back up to 192, and now it's currently on its way back down. So right now, the support area right now is about 191, about 191.17, 191.20, somewhere along in that area. and the stock closed on Friday at 191.59. So I wouldn't expect the stock to go down any further unless it's going to break through its resistance area of this 191.17. So if I was in this, say if I was in a put and I was expecting the stock to go down, I'm not going to expect it to go any further than this 191.17. And I would want to be out of my put before it got down to this, down to this area, because I'm not sure if it's going to break through this support area, or if it's going to do just like it's been doing and bounce and go back up again. So I wouldn't want to remain in a put too long. I would be watching this area right in here, this price area right in here, 191.25 down to like 191.17. That's going to be my my area that I'm going to watch. And I would not, like I say, want to stay in it a put much longer than this, because I want to see what is it going to do when it gets down to this area. Is it going to bounce and go back up, or is it going to break through my support area and continue back down? So that's a look at how support and resistance looks on a chart. Again, you can learn more by contacting Dvestments at dvestments@gmail.com. Lessons are available, and that's it for today. Have a good one.